In this lesson, I'm going to add the house shields onto the houses and start to add a little bit more detail. To make a shield, I'm going to click and drag out a perfect circle, make it a dark color, and then use the free transform tool to skew it and move it into place. Then on top of that, I will duplicate the layer. I've now got two layers the same, so I'm going to scale this one down, and I want to make this one a slightly lighter color. So it gives it that sense that, you know, it's got like a metal part on top. And then I'll merge these two layers together by just selecting them, right click and choose merge layers. And to add the details, again, I'm going to opt to just paint them in by hand. I'm not going to go into overkill with the details on this shield. Because this shield is actually going to be so small when you zoom out, you won't really, see any small details that you work on. So I'm just going to quickly add in, kind of these beveled bits here and there to make it look shield-like. Underneath the shield, I'll add in a cross. Maybe there's some kind of armor underneath or two swords crossed. Now the last detail on this house is going to be the skull, and I'll draw it out with the lasso tool. Then I'll do my usual procedure, add in some flat color and use a small round brush to just mark in some details. Just to repeat myself again, this is going to be seen from far away, so no massive details here. If you put in too many details, they won't really read very well. Now all of these elements that you start to add on top of your design or on top of your painting, you can easily duplicate them and use them throughout. You don't have to draw everything from scratch. You don't have to redo each and every element individually. But I just want to make two comments about that if you are duplicating elements. The first is, make sure that you keep your layers organized. So if you duplicate, for example, the shield from one house to place it onto another one, then make sure that you drag that layer in your stack over to the other house or put it in that group. It's going to make life a lot easier later on if you keep everything organized as you go, instead of, having a load of layers and they're not really grouped together. And then the second point to make is, when you do duplicate something, just be sure to change up the duplicated element ever so slightly. Add something small to it, or, delete something out of it, rotate it or flip it. Just make sure that, you make some small change so that it doesn't stand out as being the exact same. If two things are the exact same in your painting, they will stand out. It'll be quite obvious. So just make any small change that you like, and that'll work perfectly.